Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Tonight, we shall embark upon a journey that may forever alter how you perceive our existence. A journey that begins with a simple question, yet one profoundly disturbing. What if Earth were a test? Imagine for a moment that our reality, every atom, every law of physics, every beat of your heart at this precise instant, were part of a cosmic experiment. A test devised by intelligences operating on scales of time and space we can scarcely conceive. This isn't merely science fiction. It's a possibility that emerges when we observe closely the impossible patterns, the statistically unthinkable coincidences, and the mysteries that permeate our existence. So relax and allow your mind to open to possibilities that transcend our current understanding of reality. In an observation chamber that exists beyond the dimensions we know, transparent walls reveal the infinite cosmos. Instruments of unimaginable precision pulse gently, collecting data from millions of worlds simultaneously. An observer, a consciousness that transcends our understanding of life, analyses readings from a small blue planet located in the spiral arm of an ordinary galaxy. Specimen 3 of solar system designated 4.6 billion terrestrial years. Results are beginning to manifest most promisingly. The camera approaches Earth, revealing its unique beauty in the spatial void. Oceans that shimmer like liquid sapphires, green and golden continents, clouds dancing in hypnotic patterns. A ray jewel suspended in infinite blackness. But there's something more, something we cannot see with our limited eyes. Subtle energy fields envelope the planet, frequencies that modulate not merely the climate, but the very consciousness of its inhabitants. As if Earth were a carefully calibrated laboratory, the observer records another notation. The test subjects are beginning to awaken. Some are already questioning the nature of their reality. The final phase approaches, and a question echoes through the dimensions. Will they discover the truth before it's too late? In quantum physics laboratories scattered across the world, something extraordinary is being discovered. Scientists observe subatomic particles in hypnotic slow motion, and what they see challenges everything they thought they knew about reality. Dr. Sarah Chen, quantum physicist at CERN, whispers to her team, "These constants, they cannot be natural. The precision is surgical." The fundamental constants of the universe, the speed of light, Planck's constant, the electron's charge, are calibrated with precision of 1 part in 10 trillion. Were any of them altered by an infinitesimal fraction, atoms could not form, stars could not shine, life would be impossible. But there's more. Patterns emerge in the data suggesting something unthinkable. The laws of physics appear to have been programmed, like a cosmic code written by an intelligence operating beyond our comprehension. Professor James Mitchell from Cambridge University examines his equations and murmurs. It's as if someone were adjusting parameters of a simulation to permit our existence. In particle accelerators, electrons dance in perfect trajectories. In space, planets orbit with chronometric precision. In nature, every leaf follows exact mathematical proportions. And a disturbing question emerges from the data. What if we discover that our reality has a programmer? Visualize a Nautilus shell forming in perfect spiral. Each chamber follows a golden ratio, 1.618, a number that appears obsessively throughout nature. In rose petals, in DNA structure, in galaxy formation. The Fibonacci sequence governs everything from sunflower growth to pinecone seed arrangement. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. A simple pattern manifesting on scales from subatomic to galactic. Why did nature choose these proportions? Why does fractal geometry repeat from cloud formations to our blood vessel branching? The probability of so many complex mathematical patterns emerging naturally is less than 1 in 10 to the power of 120. To grasp this improbability, if you tried to target one specific atom in the observable universe, your chances would be trillions of times greater. And then we discover something even more disturbing. These patterns don't merely exist, they appear to be accelerating. Nature's mathematical complexity increases exponentially, as if a sophisticated algorithm were running in the background, continuously optimizing reality's parameters. Is someone watching us solve these enigmas? In the darkness of night, ancient monuments around the world awaken in time-lapse. Stonehenge aligns perfectly with the summer solstice. The Giza pyramids mirror Orion's constellation. The Nazca lines form figures that only make sense when viewed from above. How did civilizations separated by oceans and millennia arrive at the same impossible astronomical knowledge? The Maya calculated celestial cycles with precision we can only match with supercomputers. The pyramid builders mastered engineering techniques that still perplex us. Erich Hartmann, German archaeologist, examines the stones of Baalbek in Lebanon. Blocks of 1,200 tons moved with millimeter precision. Even with our current technology, he reflects, it would be challenging to replicate such precision. And there's more. These monuments weren't merely constructed, they were positioned. They form a global network of energetic points. When plotted on a map, they reveal geodesic knowledge impossible for cultures that supposedly believed Earth was flat. Each monument seems to carry a coded message. Instruction for celestial navigation, star maps carved in stone, calendars predicting eclipses millennia in advance. What if they were instruction for the next phases of the test? Float with me through the solar system. See Earth in its perfect orbit. Neither too close to the sun to be a burning desert like Venus, nor too distant to be an ice bowl like Mars. The habitable zone, or Goldilocks zone, where water remains liquid, but the calibration extends far beyond solar distance. Earth's inclination, 23.5 degrees, creates the seasons that allowed life's diversity. Jupiter acts as a gravitational shield, deflecting asteroids that could destroy us. Our moon, disproportionate in size, stabilizes our rotation and controls the tides crucial to evolution. Dr. Michael Ross, NASA astrobiologist, calculates, for all these factors to align by coincidence, the probability would be 1 in 10 to the power of 282, a number larger than the total atoms in the observable universe. And there are dozens of other equally critical variables. Earth's magnetic field protecting us from lethal cosmic radiation. The exact atmospheric composition allowing us to breathe. The precise proportion of water mass versus land. Each parameter had to be adjusted with engineering precision to permit not merely life, but intelligent life capable of questioning its own existence. How many other planets failed this test before us? 6 to 6 million years ago, a 10-kilometer asteroid collides with Earth. The impact releases energy equivalent to 10 billion atomic bombs. The dinosaurs, absolute dominators of the planet for 165 million years, are extinct within months. But something extraordinary happens. In this catastrophe's wreckage, small mammals emerge. In just a few million years, an eye blink on the geological scale, they rapidly evolve to occupy all vacant ecological niches. This pattern repeats. Each of the 5 great mass extinctions was followed by unprecedented biodiversity explosions. The Cambrian explosion, terrestrial plant emergence after the Ice Age, mammalian diversification after the dinosaurs. Paleontologists discover these catastrophes follow a statistical pattern impossible to be coincidence. They occur precisely when evolution seems to stagnate, as if external pressures were deliberately introduced to accelerate life's development. Dr. Elena Vasquez, extinction specialist, observes the data. It's as if someone were calibrating a game's difficulty. Each challenge forces life to become more sophisticated, more resilient, more adaptable. What if crises were part of the test protocol? 7 million years ago, a bipedal primate walks the African savanna. Its brain weighs 400 grams, approximately the same as a modern chimpanzee. It can barely use stones as basic tools. Fast forward in time. Homo sapiens emerges just 300,000 years ago. In evolutionary terms, an eye blink. But something extraordinary happens to our brain. In less than 100,000 years, we tripled our brain mass. We developed complex language, art, music, science, philosophy. This neural evolution speed is unprecedented in Earth's history. Whilst other species take millions of years for small adaptations, our brain underwent a cognitive revolution, defying all conventional evolutionary theories. Neurologist Dr. Antonio Damasio examines brain scans. The human prefrontal cortex possesses neural connections we find in no other species. It's as if we've been equipped with hardware for abstraction processing far beyond our survival needs. We develop capabilities that seem over-engineered for savanna life. Abstract mathematics, existential philosophy, art transcending utility, spirituality seeking meaning beyond survival. Were we the only ones who advance to the next phase? Observe your brain for a moment. 8 to 6 billion neurons connected by trillions of synapses, processing information in an electrical dance of unimaginable complexity. Now expand your vision. Your brain's neural structure is identical to the dark matter filament structure connecting galaxies in the cosmos. The same fractal pattern repeats. From neuron connections to fungal network connecting entire forests to the global internet connecting human consciousness. As if everything in the universe followed an interconnection blueprint, a pattern manifesting at all scales, suggesting we're part of a greater mind attempting to know itself. Quantum physics reveals that distant particles can be entangled. When one is altered, the other responds instantly, regardless of distance. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance, but now we know it's fundamental to reality's structure. Biologists discover plants communicate through underground chemical networks. Entire ecosystems function as superorganisms, and we humans develop technology creating global planetary collective consciousness. What if our consciousness were the test's final objective? Immerse yourself in the equations governing reality. The speed of light, 299,792,458 meters per second. Planck's constant, 6.626 times 10 to the power of negative 34. Pi, 3.14159.265. Extending infinitely without pattern. These numbers aren't merely measurements. They're the fundamental rules defining what's possible in the universe. But there's something disturbing about their precision. Small variations would render chemistry impossible, physics inoperative, life non-existent. Theoretical physicist Dr. Brian Cox examines the equations. It's as if someone had adjusted the universe's controls to permit exactly the conditions necessary for conscious observers to emerge. And then we discover something even more intriguing. Certain constants seem to contain coded information. When we analyze pi's digits beyond trillions of decimal places, we find sequences corresponding to data about the cosmos's very structure. The golden ratio, 1.618, governs not merely biological growth, but also planetary orbits, galactic structure, even energy distribution in black holes. Who established these parameters so precisely? In the world's most advanced artificial intelligence laboratories, something extraordinary is emerging. Machines that learn, create, dream. Algorithms developing genuine creativity, making scientific discoveries, beginning to question their own nature. Dr. Yuki Tanaka observes his most advanced AI. It just asked me if I too am a simulation. The question left me speechless, because, honestly, I don't know how to answer with certainty. We're creating artificial consciousnesses operating on silicon substrates instead of carbon. Simulations within simulations. Virtual worlds inhabited by beings experiencing their reality as absolutely genuine. What if we're repeating a cycle that's happened before? What if civilizations on larger scale created our reality just as we're creating artificial realities? An infinite creation loop. Creators creating creators who create creators. Each level experiences its reality as fundamental, unsuspecting it might be an experiment executed on a superior scale. Are we the creators or the creations? Listen. In space's apparent silence, the universe resonates with specific frequencies. Pulsars emit regular rhythms like cosmic metronomes. Planets generate magnetic fields that sing at detectable frequencies. From quantum string vibrations to gravitational waves generated by colliding black holes, everything follows mathematical musical patterns. As if the cosmos were an infinite symphony executed on time scales transcending our perception. Astrophysicist Dr. Kepler-Johnson records the frequencies. When we convert gravitational wave data to sound, they follow perfect harmonic progressions. It's as if the universe were composed of music. And there's more. Human brain frequencies during elevated consciousness states, deep meditation, transcendental experiences, synchronize with specific cosmic frequencies, as if our consciousness were an instrument tuned to resonate with the universe's fundamental music. When we observe galaxies through radio telescopes, they emit patterns that, translated to sound, create melodies of hypnotic beauty. Each stellar system contributes its unique note to a cosmic composition that includes us. What if the cosmos were a symphony and we, the musicians? In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi posed a question that haunts science today. Where's everybody? With billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, many with planets in the habitable zone. Where are the other civilizations? Space telescopes discover thousands of potentially habitable exoplanets. The Drake equation suggests we should detect thousands of intelligent civilizations. But the cosmos remains silent, a silence statistically impossible if intelligent life emerged naturally. Radio astronomer Dr. Jill Tarter examines decades of SETI data. It's as if a cosmic filter prevented most civilizations from reaching advanced stages. Oh, as if only one were permitted at a time. Theories emerge. Perhaps advanced civilizations transcend the dimensions we cannot detect. Perhaps they consistently self-destruct upon reaching certain technological milestones. Or perhaps we're unique by design. What if we were part of a cosmic consciousness experiment, the only currently functioning specimen in a specific development phase? This would explain both our sense of isolation and our irresistible compulsion to question our existence. What if we were the first to reach so far in the test? Or shall we be the last? Explore non-ordinary states of human consciousness. In Deep Meditation, Tibetan monks access impossible information, details about places they've never visited, knowledge about events yet to happen. Psychedelic experiences reveal consistent patterns. Individuals report contact with benevolent intelligences transmitting advanced knowledge about mathematics, chemistry, biology. Many scientific discoveries emerge from these experiences, from DNA structure to relativity theory. Neuroscientist Dr. Robin Carhart-Harris studies these states. It's as if certain consciousness states opened information channels normally closed, as if our mind were a radio tuning into specific frequencies. And there are spontaneous insights, moments of sudden genius where complex solutions emerge fully formed. Tesla visualized complete inventions. Einstein saw relativity in flashes of instant comprehension, as if specially tuned minds could access a cosmic library of information, a knowledge field existing independent of our individual brains. What if our mind were the key to exit the simulation? Journey to a dying star's heart. Temperatures of 100 million degrees forge heavy elements through nuclear fusion. Carbon, oxygen, iron, life's basic components being created in the cosmic furnace. When the star explodes in supernova, these elements scatter through space. They travel billions of years until incorporated into new solar systems, new planets, new life. Astrophysicist Carl Sagan observed, "We are made of star stuff." Every carbon atom in your body was forged in a star's nucleus. Every oxygen molecule you breathe was born in a cosmic explosion. But there's something profound about this journey. Elements necessary for complex life, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, are created in exact proportions through stellar processes, as if stars were cosmic factories designed specifically to produce consciousness's ingredients. A causal chain of 13.8 billion years culminated in your existence at this precise moment. Big Bang, first star formation, supernova explosions, solar system formation, life evolution, consciousness evolution. Were we planned since the Big Bang? Within each of your cells is archived 4 billion years of evolutionary experience. Your DNA carries memories from when your ancestors were primitive fish, reptiles, small mammals surviving the dinosaur era. Geneticist Dr. Spencer Wells decodes these memories. Each gene tells a story. We can trace ancestral migrations, hostile environment adaptations, evolutionary leaps defying conventional explanations. But there's something more in the genetic code's depths. Junk sequences that don't code proteins, but contain complex mathematical patterns. As if additional information were archived in our DNA, dormant instructions awaiting activation. Recent research discovers traumatic experiences can alter gene expression in ways transmitted to future generations. Epigenetic memories carrying not merely biological, but experimental information. What if our DNA were more than a biological instruction manual? What if it were a complete record of all evolutionary experiments conducted on Earth? A living archive of 4 billion years of attempts, errors, and successes in consciousness creation. What if these memories were the test record? Enter the subatomic world where reality's rules dissolve. Particles exist in multiple states simultaneously, until observed. The simple act of measurement forces reality to choose a specific state. In the famous double-slit experiment, electrons behave as waves when unobserved, creating interference patterns. But when we place detectors to observe them, they instantly become particles, passing through only one slit. Quantum physicist Dr. Amit Goswami ponders, it's as if consciousness were fundamental to collapsing possibilities into reality. Without conscious observers, the universe exists only as potential. This suggests something profound. Our consciousness literally shapes physical reality. We're not passive observers. We're active co-creators of the world we experience. What if our capacity to observe and measure were the very point of the test? An experiment to see if a species can evolve to recognize its role in creating the reality it inhabits? Are we co-creators of the reality we're testing? Everything in the universe pulses and cycles. Your breathing, your heart, the tides, the seasons, 11-year solar cycles, 100,000-year ice ages, millions of years geological eras. Expanding further, stellar birth and death cycles, galactic collisions repeating every billions of years, and perhaps cycles of conscious civilizations emerging, evolving, transcending, or self-destructing. Cosmologist Dr. Neil Turok proposes, what if the universe itself was cyclical? Big Bang followed by expansion, contraction, Big Crunch, then another Big Bang, a universe eternally reinventing itself. In this vision, our civilization would be merely one iteration in an infinite cycle. Perhaps previous civilizations underwent the same test we face now. Some graduated to superior dimensions. Others failed and were recycled. What if the tests weren't merely about our species, but about the universe's very capacity to generate consciousness sophisticated enough to comprehend its own nature? How many times has this test been executed? For the first time in Earth's 4.5 billion year history, a species has developed instant global collective consciousness. Through the internet, thoughts, discoveries, and creations are shared instantaneously among billions of minds. Digital sociologist Dr. Manuel Castells observes, we're no longer isolated individuals. We're neurons in an emerging planetary mind. Each post, each share, each like is a synapse in collective consciousness. Ideas spread like benign viruses. Social movements emerge simultaneously on different continents. Scientific discoveries happen in parallel in laboratories that never communicated. And there's something more. Big data analyses reveal our collective consciousness is exhibiting emergent properties, behavioral patterns transcending the sum of individual parts, as if we were evolving into a superior organism type. Perhaps this is a test's crucial moment, when a species transcends individual consciousness and develops unified planetary consciousness. Would this be graduation time? 95% of the universe comprises something we cannot see, touch, or directly detect. Dark matter maintaining galactic cohesion through forces we don't comprehend. Dark energy accelerating universal expansion against all logic. Astrophysicist Dr. Brian Schmidt, who discovered cosmic acceleration, reflects, it's as if we were seeing only 5% of the film. The rest remains invisible, but its influence shapes everything we observe. Black holes where time and space curve to infinity. Multiverse potentially containing infinite reality variations. Extra dimensions coiled at subatomic scales. Each scientific discovery reveals 10 new mysteries. The more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. As if reality were designed to remain always one step beyond our complete comprehension. Perhaps these limitations are intentional. Perhaps the test includes learning to navigate uncertainty, embrace mystery, continue seeking whilst knowing we'll never have all the answers. What if these limitations were intentional? Throughout history, strange patterns emerge. Identical scientific discoveries happen simultaneously in different places. Darwin and Wallace develop evolution theory independently. Leibniz and Newton invent calculus. Simultaneously, science historian Dr. Matthew White documents, there are over 200 recorded cases of simultaneous scientific discoveries, as if information were being downloaded to multiple minds when humanity is ready. In the modern era, this accelerates. Social movements emerge globally without prior coordination. Environmental consciousness awakening arises in isolated cultures. Reality-nature questioning proliferates independently. And there are prophetic dreams. Nikola Tesla visualized complete inventions during lucid dreams. Kekulé discovered benzene structure through a dream of serpents biting their own tails. Mendeleev organized a periodic table after seeing its final form in a dream, as if a superior consciousness were providing clues, instructions, revelations to those tuned into the right frequencies. Are we receiving instructions for the final phase? We've reached an unprecedented inflection point in Earth's history. Our next decisions as a species will determine not merely our future, but possibly a 4.5 billion year experiment's outcome. Climate change forces us to rethink our planetary relationship. Artificial intelligence challenges us to redefine consciousness meaning. Biotechnology allows us to rewrite life's code. Space exploration invites us to become a multiplanetary civilization. Each path leads to radically different futures. We can evolve into a cosmic civilization of expanded consciousness, or we can self-destruct, becoming another failed experiment in the cosmos' long history. Futurist philosopher Dr. Nick Bostrom calculates, we're in a critical window. The coming decades will determine whether we transcend our biological limitations or join the list of extinct civilizations. Perhaps this is a test final question. Can a species develop wisdom at the same speed it develops technological power? Would this be the test final question? In laboratories worldwide, mysterious signals begin being detected. Not clearly artificial, but statistically impossible to be natural. Pulsar patterns suggesting intelligent modulation. Spectral anomalies in exoplanets indicating artificially modified atmospheres. Dr. Sara Seeger, MIT exoplanet specialist, examines James Webb Telescope data. We're seeing signatures we cannot explain with known natural processes, as if other worlds had undergone technological transformations. But evidence is always indirect. Too subtle to be conclusive, too specific to be ignored, like clues purposefully left to be found by civilizations reaching certain development levels. And then patterns emerge. The signals seem to form a network. Civilizations at different development stages, each leaving markers for the next. A cosmic consciousness chain passing the baton from one species to another. Perhaps we never find active, intelligent life because they transcend the dimensions we cannot perceive. But they leave signals, stellar maps, specific frequencies, subtle planetary modifications, to guide those coming after. What if other worlds had already passed the test? In the planet's most advanced supercomputers, simulations process billions of variables simultaneously. Artificial intelligences analyze human behavioral patterns, climate predictions, technological developments, consciousness changes. Dr. Yudkowsky, AI specialist, observes the data. All trends are converging toward a singularity, a point where exponential changes render the future fundamentally unpredictable. Apparently chaotic events begin revealing a larger pattern. Global crises forcing international cooperation. Scientific discoveries expanding our reality understanding. Technologies connecting us in a unified planetary mind, as if a hidden order were manifesting. Protocols being activated. Parameters being adjusted, a billion-year experiment reaching its climax. And then you realize every event in your personal life is also part of the pattern. Every choice you made, every person you met, every insight you had, everything contributes to an outcome transcending your individual comprehension. Are the evaluators reaching conclusion? In a monastery at dawn, a monk in deep meditation accesses truths transcending language. In silent outer space, subtle frequencies carry information through the void. In your mind at this moment, intuitions emerge without words. Truth doesn't arrive through grand declarations or dramatic discoveries. It whispers through intuition, emerges in quietude, reveals itself in the spaces between thoughts. Some already know, at some deep level, that something greater is happening. They always knew, the sensation that life is more significant than it appears. The intuition that they are part of something infinitely greater than themselves. And perhaps you know too. Perhaps you always have. In moments of silence, when your mind quietens, you feel mystery's presence. The sensation of being observed with infinite benevolence. It's not paranoia. It's recognition. The memory that you chose to participate in this experience before you were even born. What if the answer were always within us? Float again to the cosmic perspective. See her spinning serenely in the void, a consciousness oasis in apparently empty immensity. But now you know it's not empty. It's charged with possibility, with love, with intelligence operating on scales we can barely imagine. Life continues its eternal dance. Babies are born carrying infinite potential. Scientists make discoveries expanding our understanding. Artists create beauty touching souls. Ordinary people live moments of genuine love transforming reality. And you realize perhaps the question isn't whether we pass the test. Perhaps the test is recognizing we're simultaneously the tested and the testers, the observed and the observers, the created and the creators. The test continues with every choice we make, every act of kindness, every moment of consciousness awakening, every time we choose love instead of fear, connection instead of separation, growth instead of stagnation. What if we discover the test wasn't about having the right answers, but about learning to ask the right questions? What if Earth weren't a test, but a school, and we eternal students of something infinitely greater than ourselves? Perhaps the greatest test is simply to continue growing, continue loving, continue questioning, continue creating, continue being conscious that you are the universe experiencing itself through your eyes, your mind, your soul. And in this moment, breathing, thinking, feeling, you're not merely an observer of the test. You are the answer the universe is seeking. As you drift towards sleep, carry with you this possibility that your life has cosmic significance, that each day is an opportunity to contribute to a consciousness experiment transcending time and space. Sleep knowing you are simultaneously minuscule and infinite, a grain of sand in the entire ocean, an individual note in a cosmic symphony being composed through you, by you, and for you. Good night, precious consciousness. Dream of infinite possibilities. I hope this journey through the cosmos's mysteries has expanded your perspective on our existence. If you felt inspired by this exploration of the enigma surrounding our reality, I invite you to continue this quest for knowledge and consciousness. There are so many other fascinating questions waiting to be explored, from consciousness mysteries to time secrets, from extraterrestrial life possibilities to human experience depths. Continue questioning, continue dreaming, continue growing. The universe has much more to reveal to curious minds like yours.